Hello, today we are going to be working on Chapter 8, Lesson 9. We're going to be starting talking about mixed numbers. What is a mixed number and what does it represent? I'm going to run this little video that walks you through it and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Mixed numbers. Juanita made 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch. She cut the sandwiches into 4 pieces each. She has 5 pieces left. What fraction of the sandwiches does Juanita have left? Each sandwich has 4 slices. There are 5 slices left. To find what fraction of the sandwiches is left, we need to count the holes and the parts. Each piece is 1/4 of a sandwich. 4 1/4 pieces make up 1 whole. There is 1 1/4 piece left. This is the part. So 1 1/4 of the sandwiches are left.
So when we're looking at fractions, a lot of times we're dealing with more than one whole. So if we bring out a 1 here, that would represent 1. If I have 3 of these halves, well, 2 of them are the same as 1, right? We actually have 3 halves right here. Now, if you look at this fraction, you'll notice it's kind of weird. We don't often have fractions with a numerator that is larger than a denominator. And in 3 halves, we have that. So what we usually do is we write this as what we call a mixed fraction. Right now, that's an improper fraction. So really, we can trade those 2 halves, the 2/2, and that represents a 1. And then we have 1/2 that is still a fraction, so our mixed number would be 1 1/2. Let's go ahead and jump into the assignment. Oops, I got to turn my pen off. So let's clear this. Whoops. Clear. Oh. For some reason, my pen will not clear. Oh, there we go. Okay. John used the amount of butter shown to make cookies. What mixed number represents the number of sticks that John used to make his cookies? Well, how many whole sticks are there? We actually have 1 whole stick. And the part that is left, there is 1/2 of a stick of butter left. And so our mixed fraction would be John used 1 1/2 sticks of butter to make his cookies. Let's clear that. Now this one, we're talking about pies. After dinner, Sue's family has the pies shown below left over. Write the amount of pie Sue's family has left over as a mixed fraction. Well, we still have 1 whole pie, and even when we add these 2 pieces together, we're not going to have another whole pie. So our whole number out front is going to be a 1. And then you'll notice that even though it's separated across 2 pie tins, these are divided into thirds. And how many of those third pieces do we have? Yes, we have 2. So our mixed fraction is 1 2/3. Okay, let's jump to our next slide. Caden has 3 apples. He cut off half of an apple to eat. What mixed number represents the amount he has left? Well, first we're going to count our holes. We have 2 holes. And of the piece he cut, it says that he cut it in half, so that's 2 pieces, and he has 1 of those pieces left. So he has 2.5 apples left. Let's jump to the next slide. Write the length of this leaf as a mixed number. Write an equation to show the mixed number. Okay, so first of all, if we look at the leaf, there are 3 whole inches. And then on the ruler, we can kind of look at these marks. The longer marks here, if we went on, that would be 4 inches. So each of these longer marks represents 1/4. And so looking at the leaf, we have 3 whole inches. And then we have 3 out of the 4/4 marks. So the leaf is 3 3/4 inches long. So if we write this equation, we could, what they want you to do is just break it down a little bit. So 3 1/4 tiles could be used to model 3/4. You can see that here. So write 3 as 1 + 1 + 1, and write 3/4 as the sum of unit fractions. A unit fraction is simply a fraction with 1 as the numerator. So 1/4 is a unit fraction, 1/5 is a unit fraction. Any fraction with a 1 is a unit fraction. So 3/4 equals 1 + 1 + 1 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Okay, it says write a mixed number for the shaded model. We see right away that we have 2 holes that are filled in. These fractions are divided into 6, and 5 of those 6 are shaded. So 2 5/6 is what's represented here. Basically on your assignment, you're just going to be doing that same thing. This is actually from your assignment. 1 hole is shaded, and you'll see that there's 5 spaces, so that's going to be our denominator. And 2 of those are shaded, so 1 2/5 would be our fraction. Let's jump to the next section. What they want you to do on this section is kind of what we did on that last example, but it wants it broken down a little bit more. Let me clear my screen. So our holes, we have 1 + 1 + 1, and then we break our fractions down into unit fractions. So we have 1/4, and there is only 1/4. That one's pretty easy, but it gets a little more challenging down here with some of these others, so let's do this. Here we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's our 4 out front. And then we have 3/8, so we're going to write those as unit fractions. 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. Okay, we're going to, this is all you actually have to watch, but if you want a little more detail on these things, you can continue to watch the rest of the video. It is not required though.
Hello, this is Mrs. Workman. Ellis shared 2 small pizzas with a friend. He cut the pizzas into 6 pieces each. After eating some, there are 7 pieces left. What fraction of the pizzas does Ellis have left? Let's look at the diagram that we've been given. We have 2 circles, so these represent the pizzas. Notice that each circle is exactly the same shape, and each one has been cut into 6 equal pieces. The shaded pieces are the ones that are left. 1, 2, 3, let me mark these as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the pieces that have already been eaten. We are asked to write a fraction that illustrates the number of pieces of pizza that are left. This entire pizza is left. 6 pieces out of the 6 are left, and we know that 6/6 is 1 whole. In this pizza, only 1 piece is left out of the original 6. So in this pizza, 1/6, or just part of it, is left over. The total pieces left would be 6/6 plus 1/6. We remember that when adding fractions, we need the common denominator, which in this case is 6. 6 plus 1 would be 7/6. This is an improper fraction. 7 divided by 6 is 1, with 1/6 left over. So what fraction of the pizzas does Ellis have left? He has 1 1/6 left.